Most of us board a plane expecting nothing more dramatic than a meal choice and a safe landing. We trust the system, engineering, crew, and unspoken rules, especially the one about not touching the doors. But sometimes, someone breaks that trust, attempting the unthinkable. Trying to open an emergency exit at cruising altitude. This isn't a movie plot. It happened on December 10, 2025, turning a routine flight into a crisis. Today, we'll break down what really happens in these moments. Why opening a door mid-flight is impossible, and the serious consequences for those who try. Let's pull back the curtain on a story of chaos, professionalism, and the systems that keep us safe. On December 10, 2025, Cathay Pacific Flight CX-811 prepared for its long journey from Boston to Hong Kong. The aircraft, a modern wide-body jet, was filled with passengers settling in for what they expected to be a routine, uneventful flight across continents. The crew moved efficiently through the aisles, checking seatbelts and reassuring travelers, while the engines hummed steadily in the background. For most, it was just another day in the sky, a familiar experience of international travel. But as the hours passed and the plane cruised high above the Pacific, the calm was suddenly broken. A 20-year-old man from mainland China, seated quietly until then, stood up and made his way toward the emergency exit. Without warning, he began to tamper with the door, his actions swift and determined. The sight was so unexpected that, for a moment, those nearby weren't sure what they were witnessing. Within seconds, shock and disbelief swept through the cabin. Passengers gasped, some frozen in their seats, others craning their necks to see what was happening. The realization that someone was trying to open the emergency exit at 35,000 feet sent a wave of panic through the tightly packed rows. This was no accidental brush with the door handle. It was a deliberate, calculated attempt to breach one of the aircraft's most critical safety barriers. The emergency exit, designed to remain sealed under immense pressure, was never meant to be touched mid-flight. The atmosphere inside the cabin changed instantly. Where there had been quiet conversation and the soft glow of reading lights, there was now confusion, fear, and a rising sense of alarm. Some passengers clutched their armrests, while others whispered anxiously to their neighbors, unsure of what might happen next. In that moment, every passenger became a witness to a serious security threat. The stability and safety of the flight, once taken for granted, now seemed suddenly fragile. The sense of vulnerability was palpable, as eyes darted between the man at the door and the crew rushing to respond. In situations like this, panic can spread through a cabin in seconds. The professionalism and training of the crew are put to the ultimate test, as they must act quickly to prevent chaos and restore order. Every second counts, and every decision matters. The next actions taken by the flight attendants and crew would determine the outcome of this crisis. Their ability to remain calm, communicate clearly, and act decisively would be crucial in ensuring the safety of everyone on board. For a few tense moments, the fate of the flight hung in the balance. Would the situation spiral out of control, or could it be contained before disaster struck? Ultimately, it would be the crew's training, courage, and quick thinking that would make all the difference, turning a moment of terror into a story of resilience and safety at 35,000 feet. The Cathay Pacific crew sprang into action the moment the threat was noticed. Trained for emergencies, they quickly intervened, stopping the passenger and securing the door. A flight attendant inspected the door to ensure it was still secure, reassuring both crew and passengers. The crew then calmed the cabin, explaining the situation and restoring order. Pilots were informed and authorities on the ground were alerted. The rest of the flight continued under close watch with the disruptive passenger restrained. Upon landing in Hong Kong, law enforcement met the plane and arrested the suspect. Thanks to the crew's swift, professional response, no one was hurt, and the threat was neutralized. This was a textbook example of why flight attendants are first and foremost safety professionals. Their training made all the difference. The Cathay Pacific event wasn't unique. Just a month earlier, a KLM flight in Atlanta faced its own crisis. While still on the ground, a passenger opened an emergency exit, triggering the automatic deployment of the inflatable slide. The flight was halted, passengers deplaned, and the culprit was taken into custody. No one was hurt, but the disruption was massive. Delays, missed connections, and a costly reset for the airline. Opening a door on the ground is sabotage, not just a safety risk. It shows a disregard for rules and the well-being of everyone on board. The ripple effects are huge and the consequences severe. It's a stark reminder. These rules exist for a reason. Earlier in 2025, a Tokyo to US flight faced a similar threat, this time mid-Pacific. A passenger aggressively tried to open an emergency exit at cruising altitude. Fortunately, a US Marine on board intervened, subduing the individual before the crew arrived. The crew restrained the passenger for the rest of the flight, and law enforcement met the plane on arrival. This incident highlights how quick action, by crew or even fellow passengers, can prevent chaos. Interfering with a flight crew is a federal offense in the US, carrying serious penalties. These events show that vigilance is required from everyone, and that the system is being tested more often. But in each case, the response has been swift and effective. Let's clear up a common myth. No matter how determined you are, you simply cannot open a plane door while the aircraft is flying at cruising altitude. It's not about strength, determination, or even a group effort. The real reason is rooted in the unbreakable laws of physics, which keep us safe every time we fly. At 35,000 feet, the air outside the plane is extremely thin, while inside the cabin is pressurized to mimic conditions closer to what we experience at ground level. Think of the airplane as a giant soda can. Inside, the pressure is much higher than outside, creating a powerful force that pushes outward against every surface, including the doors. This pressure difference isn't just a minor inconvenience. It creates thousands of pounds of force holding the door firmly in place. To put it in perspective, it would take the strength of several elephants to even begin to budge the door, making it physically impossible for any person, or even a group, to open it mid-flight. Most commercial airplane doors are what's known as plug doors. These doors are ingeniously designed to fit into the door frame like a stopper in a bottle. When the cabin is pressurized, the door is pushed even tighter into its frame, making it impossible to open until the pressure is safely released on the ground. No human, or even a group of people, can overcome the immense force created by this pressure difference. Even if someone tried, the door simply wouldn't budge. The design is intentional, acting as a passive safety feature that doesn't rely on electronics or pilot intervention. The real danger in these situations isn't the door opening, but the panic and disruption that can spread among passengers when someone attempts to do the impossible. This can lead to chaos, fear, and unnecessary stress for everyone on board, which is why flight crews take such incidents very seriously. The entire system is designed so that, as long as the plane is pressurized, the doors remain sealed tight. The airtight seal is so effective that it acts as a barrier, keeping everyone inside safe and secure, regardless of what's happening in the cabin. This is a passive safety feature, meaning it works automatically, without the need for electricity, special locks, or any action from the pilots. The laws of physics do all the work, ensuring the doors stay closed until it's safe to open them on the ground. So, while the idea of someone trying to open a plane door mid-flight can be frightening, you can rest easy knowing that the very design of the aircraft, combined with the power of physics, keeps everyone safe at all times. Ultimately, the real threat isn't the door itself, but the chaos and fear that can result from someone's actions. Thanks to smart engineering and the laws of nature, the doors will stay shut, and your flight will remain safe. What happens to someone who tries this? The consequences are severe. Upon landing, law enforcement boards the plane and arrests the individual. In the US, interfering with a flight crew is a felony, up to 20 years in prison, or even life if a weapon is involved. Other countries like Hong Kong have similarly strict laws and heavy penalties. Offenders are banned from airlines, often globally, and face massive fines. The legal process is thorough, with investigations, interviews, and almost certain conviction. The message is clear: endangering a flight brings the full force of the law. There's no leniency for moments of madness at 35,000 feet. The price is high: jail, financial ruin, and a permanent ban from air travel. The system is designed to make sure it never happens twice. Stories like these can rattle even seasoned travelers, but remember, these incidents are extremely rare. Knowing it's physically impossible to open a door mid-flight can help ease your mind. Prepare for your flight, rest well, avoid too much caffeine, and bring calming distractions. Practice deep breathing if you feel anxious. Inhale, hold, exhale slowly. Listen to the safety briefing. It's reassuring to know the crew is trained for anything. If you're nervous, discreetly tell a flight attendant. They're there to help. Focus on the calm around you. Most passengers are relaxed and the crew is in control. Remind yourself, millions of flights land safely every year. Flying remains the safest way to travel long distances. Trust the professionals and the systems in place, you're in good hands. When we hear stories about incidents in aviation, it's easy to focus on the drama or the rare moments when things go wrong. But these stories don't show that flying is dangerous. They actually prove just how robust and resilient the safety system is. Every day, millions of people board flights around the world, and the vast majority of those journeys are uneventful thanks to the countless layers of protection in place. Physics and engineering make the plane a fortress, with every component designed to withstand extreme conditions and unexpected events. Doors and hatches are built with multiple redundancies, making them virtually impossible to open in flight, and ensuring that even the smallest detail is accounted for. The cabin crew's real job is safety, not just service. They are the first line of defense in an emergency, trained to handle everything from medical issues to security threats. Their training is rigorous and ongoing, with regular drills and assessments to keep their skills sharp and their responses automatic, no matter the situation. Pilots and ground teams coordinate seamlessly, relying on checklists, communication protocols, and years of experience to anticipate and manage any challenge. They're ready to respond to any threat, whether it's a technical malfunction, a disruptive passenger, or a sudden change in weather. The moment a problem is detected, a well-rehearsed chain of actions is set in motion involving everyone from the cockpit to the control tower. Law enforcement and legal systems are set in motion, ensuring that any threat is contained and dealt with swiftly. Every layer, physical, human, procedural, works together in harmony, creating a web of safety that protects every flight from takeoff to landing. In every case, the system has worked, the threat was stopped, the plane landed safely, and passengers were protected from harm. Offenders are held accountable, facing justice for their actions, while the rest of us continue our journeys, often unaware of the drama that was averted. The trust we place in airlines and crews is well-founded. Flying is complex, involving thousands of moving parts and people, but it's managed by professionals who have your back, people who dedicate their lives to making sure you arrive safely, every single time. Next time you fly, relax. The system is strong, built on decades of learning, innovation, and teamwork. It's designed to get you there safely, so you can focus on your journey, not the risks. Trust the unseen layers. They're always working for you.